When we think of Christmas, we often think of a baby in a manger, a star in the sky, shepherds and angels, carols and candles. But the reading we have just heard begins elsewhere. It begins with the words, "in the beginning," before the stable, before the star, before Mary and Joseph and the journey to Bethlehem. John tells us that right at the very start of everything, God was already speaking love into the world. He calls Jesus the Word, God's way of speaking, God's way of showing us what love looks like. And then John tells us the heart of the Christmas story. The Word became flesh and lived among us. Which means this: God came close. God didn't stay far away. God did not send instructions from a distance. God came into ordinary, messy, upheaved life, into family life, into tired parents and crying babies, into long journeys and borrowed places to sleep, into joy and worry and hope, all mixed together. God became the baby, a baby. Not because babies are powerful, but because babies need to be cared for. They need love. They need arms to hold them. And that tells us something very important about God. God is not only found in big, impressive moments. God is found in small, vulnerable moments too. In kindness shared, in a hand held, in a story read at bedtime, in laughter around the table or around the lecterns as our children share the Bible story from their perspective in 2025, telling the very same old story, using the same imagery of old, but bringing a different perspective of a story seen through the eyes of the creatures of creation, mice, the despised, the rejected and the forsaken. And yet through creation, the donkey, the camels that the wise men rode on, creation sings with the angels of heaven as they all proclaim the God who became vulnerable. And God's vulnerability does not end in the manger. It ends as he walks through daily life, sharing what it is that God desires of God's creation to live the rightful life. Now and again, we see this Jesus whom we will celebrate, who we celebrate, who is with us, who has been with us, who is to come, fleeing from place to place, giving us a glimpse of our daily lives, of people fleeing even that very place we call the Holy City, or from those whom God named as the chosen. We see people lying homeless in our streets. We see beggars day by day, those who suffer with mental illness and physical illness. We are here, not because we are complete, but because in us is an emptiness that seeks God to fill it, that seeks that baby to come and nestle in us, that we may be stronger, that through him we can do all things. God comes close in love given and in love received. John also tells us that Jesus is light, and light does not have to be loud. It just has to be present. A single candle can change a dark room. A small act of love can change somebody's day. A quiet kindness can remind someone that they too matter. This Christmas, we are invited to welcome again that light, to make room, not just in our homes, but in our hearts, to remember that God comes to us not only when everything is perfect, but also at the times when life is a mess, when things are hard and when things do not make sense. God comes right in the middle of real life, in your pain, in your shame, in your joy, in your victory, and in what you perceive as loss. God comes. Because the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And the light is here with us today. And whatever the situation is, wherever your manger is right now, wherever the cold darkness of night is, on this day that we mark or will mark the longest night, the light of God already is. Thanks be to God. Amen.
Amen.